We're rolling. Timer starts now. Mark. Hi, I'm Ford.
And I'm Sky. And these are not our real names. These are our superhero names, and with our powers combined, we formed the writing partnership L. Skyford. Welcome to Booklandia.
You've joined us today for a minisode, where we will geek out about literary topics like plot and character tropes, and maybe some book news. But before we get much further, did you know you can watch our faces do this episode by subscribing to us on Twitch at L. Skyford or YouTube at L.Skyford? You should do it. We give good face.
And sometimes there's a dog bomb at Ford's house.
This is true. For our other socials, you can follow us on Twitter at SkyfordL, on Instagram at L.Skyford. And if you're interested in our book, blog, or even more book reviews, head over to our website, lskyford.com.
Lastly, this and every episode are chock full of oversharing and spoilers, and every episode is rated E for explicit. You have been warned.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry,
Another week, another minisode. What, do you have a ghost?
No, I was looking up at my microphone to make sure that I'm recording with sound on. But yeah, another week, another minisode is absolutely true.
Yeah. I had a realization about why dog bombs have not been happening in our episodes lately.
It's during nap time?
Well, is the sun up? Then it's during nap time. But this room that I record in is also the hottest room in the house. And it being summertime in Southern California, and no Southern California houses have insulation in the walls, it is hot in here. So they're off laying under an air conditioning vent, living their best life.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, Today's episode, this is going to be a great segue, actually, because today's minisode is about royals. And it sounds like your doggos are living their most princessy life.
They sure do. They live on their padded dog bed towers. And are hand fed. We don't hand feed them, but whew, they act like the princesses they are.
Excellent. So let's talk about royal tropes. So the whole premise of it, right, is that one or both of the main characters are some kind of actual royalty.
Real or fictional.
Real or fictional, yes. Yes.
I feel like this is a tangential trope off of like Fish Out of Water, because usually it's one royal person and one normie, one muggle, if you will, and that muggle lives their fish out of water life.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's also a millionaire trope, right? Somewhat.
Right.
Because
everything. Celebrity trope.
Right, yeah. Everything is available to them, but they can't go get a fast food hamburger because that's not something that royals do. Yes, absolutely. Right. It's sort of like how the other half lives. And what would you do if you had no limitations? So, and I think that's why it works, right? It is an ultimate fantasy of being cared for, of not worrying about financial needs, of sort of having the world at your beck and call, literally. Why do you think it doesn't work?
I mean, how many royals are there really in the world still now? Like, monarchies aren't really a modern thing anymore. And so, like, surprise, you're a queen is not a real thing that ever happened. I'm pretty sure that never happened in the real life. Like, also in a post Black Lives, well, not post Black Lives, we're still currently in Black Lives Matter times. Colonization and white supremacy, which is often represented by the monarchy, is just a touchy subject.
Yes. I mean, yes, I hard agree.
Okay, great.
Yeah, you get no complaints from me. I have a hard time with the royal trope because it's literally a fairy tale. It's so outside the scope of reality that it takes a lot for me to really lean into it and be like, sure, Tell me more about these clearly fictitious people.
Yeah. I would say one series that is bucking against this flaw that I spoke of is Alyssa Cole's Reluctant Royals and Runaway Royals series, because all of her royalty are Black people. And they are royalty from a fictitious island in the Mediterranean that I don't remember the name of. But so that is delightful and lovely. And I love the idea of that a whole lot.
Yes, I do agree with that. I was thinking of the Princess Trap, but the royal in the Princess Trap is a white person, and then his partner is Black, and she becomes
And
a
that is
princess.
by Talia Hibbert.
It
For
is.
everybody
It
who
is.
doesn't know, we are obsessed with Talia Hibbert. Yes.
And read everything she writes, and then sometimes we do it twice when she re-releases it under a new title.
Yeah. I mean, yes. So I think about like Red, White, and Royal Blue, which is one of our favorite books ever, full stop, by Casey McQuiston. And this kind of gets both the celebrity and the royal, because it's a prince, an English prince, and the first son, or one of the sons of the president. So you're getting kind of the American prince and the British European prince as well. Just, I dig.
Yeah, and I think so. We can include, I feel like, particularly American politicians
Mm-hmm.
in the royal trope, because they are treated kind of like celebrities in this country.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know. There is so much. I mean, it's fascinating to read about it, because it's something that I don't have any access to in my life. And so it is definitely like a very escapist adventure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as we've discussed previously, it doesn't quite work for me because surprisingly, really unrealistic romance doesn't work for me. I love science fiction and I love fantasy, but I don't love really unrealistic romance. It's a me weird, I know, but it doesn't quite work for me. But I do, I mean, Red, White, and Royal Blue is absolutely a dream of a book, in so many ways, and it not only fits in two men as the lead
Mm-hmm.
characters who are in positions of power, who discover each other, and one of them is very sure of their sexuality and the other one is just discovering it. And there's American politics, and there's a first woman president, and there's a first unmarried president. Like there's so much, she puts so much in
Mm-hmm.
there, as she always does with her books, and but it just
Yep.
works and it fits and you root for them. So these two worked very well for me, these two being the two characters in Red, White, and Royal Blue. um there are others that didn't quite work for me. One of the examples I can think of is a book called Her Royal Highness. It's YA, and it's about this girl that meets a princess when she goes to boarding school to Scotland. And that the fact that she's a princess is brought up enough times for it to be a drinking game. And that is the
Ah.
whole crux of it, is like, but she's a princess. Like, we really like each other and we want to date each other. And there's no conflict that surrounds either one of them coming out, thankfully. And that's wonderful. But then they keep just like, but she's a princess. And I was like, yes, I
Mm-hmm.
get it. She's a princess. But can there be
Yeah.
other, like, can we talk through this challenge? So that to
That
me sometimes doesn't work.
that reminds me of the Selection series by Kira Cass, which is a competition to become the next princess. So it's got, reality TV vibes meets, also royalty vibes.
It's like reality TV vibes, dystopian vibes, because it is a
Yep.
dystopian young adult novel, royalty vibes, and then also like court intrigue
Yep.
style stuff.
Yep.
There's like some spy stuff and
Mm-hmm.
some court intrigue stuff and some pageantry. Yes. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm not selling that particular series very well.
Yeah, I liked that series. I remember us having a lot of conversations when we read that series about it. Um, I I think I really like this trope. I think I like the escapism of it, the unreality of it. We just finished reading Party of Two by Jasmine Guillory, which is about an American senator, and it felt very similar to the other royal books we've read, where they can't go out in public or he'll get recognized, and like how do you navigate being so popular and being in the public eye? And that is a very interesting topic that I like to see how people explore. Also, I just love really good conversations about schedules. That is hot. And that book had
It's a
it, so I was here for it.
it was very it's a very specific kink, but all right. All right.
Show me your calendar.
Are you color coded? Um, well, so the most recent Jasmine Guillory's, the last three in the series, all deal with either famous people or semi-famous people or being near famous people. Royal Holiday has the Queen
Mhm.
of England in it, and the
Yes.
Duchess and the Duke of uh not Edinburgh,
Mm,
because the Duke of Edinburgh
they
was the
they
Queen's
went to
husband.
Sandringham, but
They
I
went
don't
to
think
Sandringham.
that
It's
we're too American for this.
sorry. No, they're the Duke and Duchess are intended to be Kate and
Ah,
what's his name? Not
what
Harry and
not
Meghan, the other royal
William.
couple. Can you tell that I
William.
don't follow the royals? Yes, it's supposed to be Kate and William. Like that's the
Mhm.
implication. I just can't remember what he's the Duke of, or what she
Yeah.
is meant to be the Duchess of. So there's that. Our main characters are not any of the royals, but it is royal adjacent. And then Party of Two has the supposedly very public and very famous California senator that people would recognize, and so he spends quite a bit of his time wearing very silly disguises. And then while we were dating, which is the most recent one in this series, is about a movie star, and
Ah,
she wears
haven't gotten to that one yet.
disguises. Oh yeah, so her name is Ava Gardner, which is just an excellent
Yeah.
delight.
Yeah.
And she is a very famous movie star, and she wears disguises. And there's already conversation. Or I'm not all the way through the book yet, but there are already conversations about when like making sure that she's wearing lipstick before she gets into her hotel lobby because someone's going to take a picture of her in the hotel lobby, things like that. I just get
Mm.
really exhausted reading all
Mhm.
of that, and then
Mhm.
I'm less interested. But it's sort of it forces a proximity, right? Because if the
Yeah.
famous person has to be hiding, then it puts their significant other in situations where they have to be hiding with them, and that creates that forced proximity that makes
Yeah.
for good steamy tension. So
But it also creates, like you just said, tension. So yeah, I see why this is a go-to trope. Some ones that I haven't read. So coming out, we have The Royal Next Door by Karina Halley, something like that. Sorry. There's also The Air Affair, which is a series, and it's written by two women, Heather something. Oh yes, type it.
Heather
Do the
Cox
Google.
and Jessica Morgan.
Thank
So
you, Google Foo.
no
So
problem.
those are also pretty going to be pretty popular, or if not, if they're already out, like the Air Affair is, then already pretty popular. So it's a popular trope. I really like it. I'm going to read more of it.
All
Thumbs
right.
up emoji.
Sideways emoji.
All right. So are you, dear audience human, going to pick up this book now that you've heard our review? Let us know in the comments. Have a suggestion for another review? Slide on into our DMs.
If you like this adventure in books or updates on our upcoming projects, Please follow, like, save, subscribe, rate, review us on Instagram at l.skyford, on Twitch at lskyford, and on Twitter at skyfordl. Phew. I'm Sky.
And I'm Ford. And that's it for this minisode. We will see you next time on Booklandia, where every book is a whole world to explore.